plant diseases. They're a huge deal in agriculture, aren't they? Often working away unseen.
Absolutely, a constant pressure.
So today we're doing a deep dive into some specific fungal and fungus-like diseases, the ones really hitting the crops that feed us.
Exactly. We want to break down what these diseases are, the actual pathogens causing them, and crucially, what they look like, how you'd spot them.
Right. So you can get a really clear picture of these challenges. We'll cover the disease, the culprit behind it, the pathogen and the symptoms, and the crop's scientific name, of course.
Yep, got a good range lined up from staple grains through to fruits and veggies you see every day.
Okay, let's jump in. First up, rice. Scientific name, Oryzia sativa, a global staple. Rice blast is the big one here.
It really is. Rice blast is caused by a fungus, Magnaporthe oryzae,
Magnaporthe, okay.
and it's pretty aggressive, spreads fast.
Yeah.
The classic sign, what you look for are these diamond-shaped lesions on the leaves.
Diamond-shaped.
Yeah, usually with a grayish center and like a brown edge or margin.
Got it. Gray center, brown border.
And it doesn't stop at the leaves. It can also hit the panicles, where the actual grains form. They call that neck rot.
Yeah, neck rot. Sounds bad for yield.
Directly impacts it, yeah.
Yeah.
Very damaging.
Okay. Moving to another massive grain crop, wheat. Triticum estivum. Our sources talk about rust diseases, plural.
That's right. Rust isn't just one thing in wheat. It's a group. You've got leaf rust,
Okay.
caused by Puccinia triticina.
Okay.
And then there's stem rust, that's Puccinia graminis.
Graminis, right.
And stripe rust, Puccinia striformis.
Wow, okay. 3 different Puccinia species, but do they look similar?
Broadly, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The telltale sign for all of them is the appearance of these small raised spots, pustules.
Pustules, like little blisters?
Kind of, yeah. Usually yellow or orange, sometimes reddish-brown, depending on the type. You'll see them on the leaves, the stems.
And I assume that messes with the plant's ability to make food. Photosynthesis.
Exactly. Really knocks back the photosynthesis, which means lower grain quality and less grain overall.
Makes sense. Okay, next on the list is maize or corn, Zea maize. The disease is downy mildew.
Downy mildew, yeah. Often caused by a fungus-like organism called Peronoschlerospora sorgi. It's not technically a true fungus, but acts like one.
Fungus-like. Okay, so what does that look like? Downy mildew.
You'll see these pale, sort of yellowish streaks running along the leaves. Chlorotic streaks is the term.
Chlorotic streaks, gotcha.
And often, especially on the underside of the leaves in damp conditions, you might see this white, fuzzy growth, kind of downy.
Ah, hence the name.
Precisely. And another thing is the plant itself might just not grow properly. Stunted growth is common.
Right, streaks, fuzz, stunted plant. Okay, let's switch gears to something you might find in your garden salad, the tomato. Solanum lycopersicum. Early blight is the issue here.
Early blight, yes, caused by the fungus Alternaria solani.
Alternaria solani. Now, early blight, does it always show up early in the season?
That's a good question. Not necessarily, no. It's just the common name. The really distinctive thing about early blight are the spots on the leaves.
Okay, what kind of spots?
They look like little targets. Concentric rings, like a bullseye. Dark spots with rings inside.
Target spots? That's a good visual cue.
Definitely. And as it gets worse, these spots get bigger, they merge, and the leaves start to yellow and drop off. Defoliation.
Which obviously hurts the plant's ability to produce tomatoes.
Exactly. Less energy means fewer, smaller fruits.
Okay. Target spots on tomatoes. Now, sticking with that same plant family, Solanaceae, we have the potato, Solanum tuberosum. And the disease is late blight. This one has some history, right?
Oh, absolutely. Late blight.
Uh-huh.
Caused by Phytophthora infestans, another one of those fungus-like organisms in umiceae.
Phytophthora infestans, and historically significant.
Hugely. This is the pathogen behind the Irish potato famine in the 1840s. Just devastating.
Wow. So what are the symptoms to watch for?
It often starts as water-soaked spots, usually on the edges or tips of the leaves. They look dark, kind of greasy.
Water-soaked lesions. Okay.
And in humid weather, you'll likely see a white, sort of cottony mold, especially on the underside of those lesions. The leaves curl up, turn brown, die off really quickly.
And does it affect the potatoes themselves? The tubers?
Yes, that's the other critical part. It causes tuber rot. The potatoes decay, either in the ground or later in storage. A total loss.
Right. Hits the leaves and the tubers. Nasty stuff.
Oh.
Okay, let's go tropical. Bananas. Musa, SPP. Panama wilt is the disease listed.
Panama wilt, also known as fusarium wilt. Very serious for bananas. It's caused by a specific type, or a forma specialis, of the fungus Fusarium oxysporum. It's
Hmm.
called FSP cubans.
Fusarium oxysporum FSP cubans. Okay, what's the first sign?
Typically, you'll see the older lower leaves start to yellow first, often along the edges. Then that yellowing moves upward.
Yellowing from the bottom up.
Exactly. But the really diagnostic sign is internal. If you cut the pseudostem, the trunk, you'll see this reddish-brown discoloration in the vascular tissues.
Ah, the plant's plumbing is getting clogged and dying.
That's a good way to put it. Blocks water transport, and eventually the whole plant just wilts and collapses.
Devastating. Okay, let's add some spice. Chilies, capsicum, papaye. The disease is anthracnose.
Anthracnose, yeah. Common in lots of crops, but in chilies, it's often Colototricum capsici.
Colototricum capsici. And where does this show up?
Most noticeably on the chili fruits themselves. You get these sunken, dark spots. They can start small and circular, then spread out.
Sunken and dark on the fruit.
Right. Sometimes they might look a bit water-soaked at first, but it can also cause spots on the leaves and even die back where the tips of the branches wither.
So, mainly a fruit problem, but keep an eye on the rest of the plant too.
Got it. How about onions, Allium cepa? Purple blotch is mentioned here.
Purple blotch, caused by Alternaria pori, another Alternaria, like the early blight on tomatoes.
Okay, Alternaria pori and purple blotch. I guess the name gives it away.
It does. You see these spots on the onion leaves that start small, maybe whitish, but then develop distinct purplish zones, often in concentric rings again. Rings again, but purple this time.
Yeah, often with a tan or lighter center. And as it progresses, the leaf tips tend to dry out and die back from the top.
Purple spots, drying tips, clear signs. Okay, next is groundnut or peanut, Arachis hypogaea, Tika disease.
Tika disease, or Cercospora leaf spot, very common in groundnuts. And interestingly, it's caused by two related fungi.
Two?
Yes, Cercospora arachidicola, which causes early leaf spot, and Cercosporidium personatum, causing late leaf spot. Often they occur together.
Okay, Cercospora and Cercosporidium, and they both cause spots.
Dark brown to black spots on the leaves, yes. The spots caused by arachidicola often have yellow halo, while the personatum spots are usually darker, almost black.
Different shades of dark spots, and the main problem is...
The big consequence is premature defoliation. The leaves just fall off way too early.
Which means less energy for making groundnuts.
Exactly. Big impact on yield.
Okay, dark spots, early leaf drop in groundnuts. Finally, let's look at papaya, Carica papaya, anthracnose again, same as chili.
Same disease name, anthracnose, but typically caused by a different, though related, species in papaya, usually Colototrichum gluosporioides.
Ah, okay. Colototrichum gluosporioides. Similar symptoms, though.
Similar in that you get dark, sunken lesions. But in papaya, this is primarily a problem on the fruit, especially as it ripens.
So watch the ripening fruit for those sunken black spots.
Precisely. They can start small and rarely spread. Sometimes in wet conditions, you might even see pinkish-orange spore masses in the center of the spots. It can sometimes cause leaf spots too, but the fruit damage is the main concern.
Got it. Sunken black spots on the fruit, maybe some ooze.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've covered quite a bit of ground there. From rice blast, Magnaporthe oryza on Oryza sativa with its diamond lesions.
To wheat rusts, Puccinia species on Triticum estivum, showing those orange pustules.
And of downy mildew. Peronosporosorgi on Zea maize with the streaks and fuzz.
Tomato early blight, Alternaria solani on Solanum lycopersicum, and those target spots.
Potato late blight. Phytophthora infestans on Solanum tuberosum, the historic one with water-soaked lesions and tuber rot.
Banana panma wilt, Fusarium oxysporum on Musa spp, causing that internal browning and wilt.
Chili anthracnose. Colototricum capsici on Capsicum spp with sunken fruit lesions.
Onion purple blotch, Alternaria pori on Allium cepa, showing purple leaf spots.
Groundnut Tika disease, Cercosporidium on Arachis hypogaea, causing dark spots and leaf drop.
And finally, papaya anthracnose, Colototricum gluosporioides on Carica papaya, again with those sunken lesions on the fruit.
It really gives you a snapshot of the diversity of these fungal and fungus-like threats. Understanding the pathogen and the specific symptoms is just step one in managing them.
Absolutely. It underscores how vital disease identification is for farmers, for researchers, for everyone involved in growing our food. Knowing what you're looking at is key.
Definitely. And thinking bigger picture, it really connects the health of these individual plants, dealing with these microscopic attackers directly to our global food security.
It does make you think. And perhaps a final thought for you listening.
Yeah.
Given this constant battle against plant diseases, how crucial do you believe ongoing research and innovation in plant pathology are for actually securing our food supply for the future? Something to ponder.